everyone.
We're back.
We're doing well.
Yeah.
This is episode number 5.
It's number 5. That's
Yeah.
quite a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, we're doing good.
Don't think we've been in 5 episodes of anything so far.
No.
Episode 5 of our own podcast. That's quite a good achievement.
It is good. Hopefully you're enjoying it anyway. We've had a bit of feedback. Thank you for that. So glad you like to listen to us chatting about our spectrum journey.
Yeah, I mean, we try and be interesting, try not to be boring.
Try. So let us know if we are boring or just switch off. But
yeah, there is that option.
we thought today, because we get asked quite a lot, like I think on Instagram, as we know, everyone thinks Instagram is everyone living their best life, because most of the time it is. So yeah, I think a lot of the time people think that we just have a barrel of laughs all day, every day, which we try and do.
Yeah, we try our best, but I mean, that's just not real life, is it? So
No.
that's not actually what we do every day.
No.
A lot of the time every day we're kind of working our way through problems that come up left, right and centre pretty much all the time. So, I mean, yeah, it's amazing and we love what we do, but there are quite a few times where we've had to actually get through some tough shit.
Yeah. So that's what we thought we'd chat about a little bit in this episode is the rough that comes with the smooth, basically.
Yeah, spill some tea.
Yeah.
I have my tea. Spectrum mug, obviously. There's not much left in here. I might need a refill in a bit.
Well, diving straight into possibly the biggest shitstorm
Yeah.
that we've had to deal with would be the warehouse fire.
Yeah, I mean, every year we actually forget that all of our stock burnt to a crisp that one time.
Like, you know that one time when we lost everything overnight? Yeah.
Yeah, when we woke up on that Sunday morning to the warehouse calling us saying that there'd been an almighty 24-hour blaze that destroyed everything.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Hannah. Sorry to disturb you on a Sunday. There's been a fire at the facility. It's highly likely all your stock has been destroyed. Firefighters are still trying to contain the blaze. Call me when you can.
It's just like it's tattooed in your mind.
I know, it is. It's because I was going to have a lovely Sunday, go shopping and have a bit of brunch, and then...
Those things we never do.
Those things that we never do, and it was a rare Sunday where I could actually enjoy that, so I was really looking forward to it. And then the warehouse text, and then I rang you, didn't I?
It was a text, wasn't it?
It was a text, yeah, because I think I woke up and I had a couple of missed calls, and then I just noticed the text and I was like, that's weird. And then you automatically think, oh, what's this about? Something's gone wrong here. But and then I rang you, didn't I? And I was like,
that's weird. What's she ringing me for? And it's like early on a Sunday morning. I thought maybe she wants to go for a nice coffee or something. And it's like, hiya. And then, everything's burned. And I was like, what do you mean everything's burned? Who's burned? Are you okay? Like, are the dogs okay? Like, what's going on? And then, no, all the brushes are burned. I was like, oh, right. And then it was just a case of, I've had a text from Dave. Dave said that there's been a warehouse fire and...
I'll see you in the office.
Yeah. Do you want to go to the office so we can start emailing people and telling everyone that the brushes have all burnt to a crisp? I was like, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. So yeah, we went to the office, cried for about 10 minutes when we realised what had actually happened. And then, I mean, it was all over BBC News. You can still Google it now if you Google warehouse fire in Essex.
Yeah.
It was like an almighty blaze, wasn't it? So
yeah, it was. I think it was just because nothing like that had ever happened before, really.
No.
You don't really expect stuff like that to happen. I mean, you try and always plan for the worst, hope for the best and that kind of thing. But
yeah, like you said, it's just one of those things that you never, ever in a million years expect to happen. And there we were on a Sunday morning in our office in Barry, emailing all our suppliers to let them know, because literally a week before we'd launched into Boots. So all our Boots delivery had been delivered on the Friday that was meant to see us through for like 3 months worth of stock.
I think it was 4 months. I think
it was a lot,
Christmas.
wasn't it?
It was the whole of Christmas, wasn't it?
It was a lot.
Yeah.
So that all got burnt in the fire. So yeah, we were emailing all our suppliers just to let them know.
Our wholesale partners mainly, to let them down.
Oh yeah, sorry, to let them down. Yeah.
So we had to just basically send out a load of emails that were, oh, sorry to be the bringer of shit news, but this has actually just happened. And then by like lunchtime on Monday, because this is all we did on Sunday, and then lunchtime on Monday, we're like, oh, no one's replied, no one cares. And then it turns out that all our emails had just sat in our outbox and hadn't gone anywhere.
Yeah, they didn't go anywhere, so then we had to do it all again. But yeah, I mean, it was awful, but I mean, luckily we had insurance, and the insurance only just covered us for the cost price of the stock that we held in the warehouse.
Yeah, literally, what was in it, like about 90 quid or something?
In where?
Like, there was only about, we claimed every last penny.
Oh, right, yeah, sorry.
Down to the last, like, 90 quid, I think. That was...
I think we overclaimed by about 90 quid.
That's what I mean. Yeah. I think we just, like, it literally just about got us through it,
It did, yeah. I mean, thank God we did have insurance, but after that we were like, right, okay, so going forward we need to make sure we have even more cover in place, because now, that was 3 years ago, the fire, so now we hold more stock, we've got more stock that's on the water constantly.
We've got more responsibilities, more people who want our stock.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, luckily we had enough cover in place, and the insurance did pay out, so we were able to survive as a business. But the main reason we were able to survive is because we were due to launch Mean Girls, weren't we?
Yeah, 2 days later. So the fire was on the Wednesday and
the fire was the Sunday.
Oh, the fire was the Sunday and the launch was on the Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because obviously you launch Mean Girls on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
And you win
naturally
it when you do it. But yeah, that was on the Wednesday, and we were like, okay, so basically there's no choice about it. We have to launch it on Wednesday still, because
we built up loads of hype, hadn't we? We had a massive party, we announced to all the press.
It was booked, like everything was going ahead. We can't just... I mean, yeah, the fire is basically going to stop us in our tracks, but it's not going to stop the world turning, is it? So you kind of need to carry on as you would while all this disaster's going on in the background. So the launch on Wednesday went ahead, and it was an amazing launch, and we sold a shit ton of burn books, which basically helped us replace all our burn brushes.
Yeah, well, we had to place emergency orders with all our suppliers, because loads of our Christmas delivery was in that delivery, because the fire was August time.
End of August.
End of August. So yeah, we had loads of stuff. But yeah, I mean, that was the biggest load of shit that's happened so far, I think.
I don't know, you say that.
Well,
there's a lot more shit that goes on behind the scenes, isn't there?
There is.
Yeah. So, I mean, last year it was not just last year, it was part of the year previous as well, wasn't it? When did it all start?
I think that was maybe the Christmas time of the fire, so maybe like Christmas 2017?
No, it was later than that. When did it...
Well, the 2020, it felt like it was ages, didn't it?
Felt like it was ages. Basically, what we're now talking about is that time that another company who shall not be named, a bit like Voldemort, shall not be named, tried to sue us for like over £250,000 for basically no reason.
Basically no reason. They thought that we'd copied one of their designs, but we didn't, so we had to go through a whole massive legal battle that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, literally out of nowhere. A letter in the post, like, we get a letter in the post not really thinking that it's going to be someone summoning you to High Court and trying to rob you for £250,000.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it went on over like 2 years, it felt like, or at least a year and a half.
I think it was like 2 years, really, because the first couple of letters were just not actually that serious. I think they were just like a standard cease and desist template that you can probably download off the internet.
Yeah.
That isn't really involving lawyers and stuff like that. And then we kind of like started to get legal advice on what was going on, because obviously we didn't have a clue with stuff like that.
No, well, we wouldn't, would we? Because it's never happened to us before. So we were kind of like, what the hell's this?
Yeah, and the thing is, when you actually don't copy people and you're normally the brand that people are actually copying, you are a little bit like, what the hell?
Yeah, it came out of nowhere, and we were just a bit like, right, okay, so what do we do with this? So
what do we do? Where do we start?
Yeah, and we had to get legal advice, and obviously legal advice is very expensive. So
just
we
after
would kind
a
of
great big fire,
just after
really,
a massive fire.
Really convenient.
It was a little bit stressful, but so we would reply to their letters
within the time frame given.
Yeah, because with every letter would be a time frame, so you've got to reply by this date with this information and evidence, and you know, it was all like serious stuff.
Well, it's extra work, isn't it? Let's be fair. You know, we are literally. It looks like we're having a great time all the time. I mean, we love it, but there are definitely. This is what the point of this podcast is that a lot of the time we're not going to put all this shit out there for people to ruin people's day.
Well, no, like, you know, you don't want negativity all the time, but we just thought it would be interesting for you guys to hear about some of the serious shit that we've had to deal with.
Yeah.
You know, we are two girls from Barry, as we always say, but we're not business women. We haven't got experience of any of this type of stuff, so we just wanted to let reassure you guys if you're struggling or you're going through a bit of a hard time with your own business, that it happens to everyone, and just try and get through it. Like that's what we had to do.
That's all you can do.
That's all you can do. I mean, yeah, whenever something difficult presents itself now, we're like, right, okay, well, it's not as bad as the fire. We can get through this.
Yeah.
Like Brittany getting through
2017. It was us.
That's
2017.
Yeah.
We have our own version of Brittany's 2017.
I think ours was 2017. Brittany's was before.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Brittany's was long ago.
Brittany's
It was like 2009, wasn't it?
Something like that.
2007.
2007.
Yeah.
Well, ours was 10 years after
later.
Brittany.
Well, Brittany is forever our idol, so
yeah,
we love you, Brittany.
So anyway, we won the legal battle because we didn't.
Hold on, we skipped a load. The whole thing with this was how long it was going on for.
Oh, ages.
And we've never really talked about it because at the end of the day, it's not something that we want. It's not something to brag about. It's not something to kind of dwell on, really.
Oh my God, it was so stressful. Like when it actually all came to an end, we were so relieved, weren't we? But that was the thing. We would reply to them within the legal time with like all the evidence, and then we wouldn't hear anything for like 3 months,
4 months,
ages, and we'd be like, oh, okay, maybe they've like left us alone and it's gone away.
Yeah.
And then another letter would come, and each time the letters came, they were more and more advanced and more serious. And then eventually we had like a High Court letter. And we
still
were like,
don't even understand what it was really. It did escalate to the point where
I think it did escalate a lot.
We were going to have to go to court, and we were like, shit, we really don't want to go to court.
No, but at the same time, we weren't in the wrong. So it was just us having to spend more money and more legal fees, reiterating the fact that we weren't in the wrong.
Yeah.
And they just wouldn't accept it. And then eventually, because we had a really good legal team and lots of evidence to prove our point, they dropped the case, thank God.
Yeah, and actually we were considering suing them back for all the stress. Time that we were spent not in the office actually doing work and actually sat in a lawyer's office looking at evidence and talking through X, Y and Z, like really stuff that we shouldn't have to have done.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a damages, I suppose, is what they kind of said. If you're well within your rights, if you want to, it's up to you, but you may just want to forget about it and move on. And we were 100% forget about it and move on.
We were.
Not be asked for this anymore.
We're not ones to like hold a massive grudge anyway, and like
no, we're better than that.
In general, we're really positive, and like we always look on the bright side and all that type of stuff. So for us, as soon as it did come to a close, we were like, no, we really don't want to like restart the kind of fires burning, like even though we were fuming. Yeah, it's bad karma.
It's bad juju, as Mum would say.
Bad juju.
Yeah,
so
she's like, you don't want that bad juju hanging around.
No, and I mean, we got what we wanted. We didn't get sued, and we didn't have to pay any kind of compensation to them, even though we weren't needed to anyway, because we didn't bloody do it.
I think in total though we did have to spend about 50 grand on legal fees.
Yeah, that's the thing. It cost us a hell of a lot of money for no reason.
For absolutely no reason, yeah.
We were fuming, but at the same time, when it did all come to an end, we were like, right, okay, thank God for that. We can finally start to move on.
Yeah, I mean, it's only just now thinking about it that the kind of products that were in the whole legal thing, we had to do like a huge sell-off of all that stuff, which we did last year, for over like a 9-month period, while all these letters were just dropping in randomly throughout that whole time frame.
Yeah.
And really what it cost us is not just the legal fees, it cost us stock, because we had to basically get rid of stuff.
Yeah.
And we also now we're left with a bit of a gap in our product range that we're going to start to fill back in, I suppose, because at the end of the day we didn't know what was going to happen, so we don't want to be holding on stock that effectively every time we sold one we thought we were going to get fined that money.
Yeah.
So it was like the more you sell, the more you potentially owe.
Yeah.
But we had to sell. We couldn't just what we're going to do, put it into landfill? I don't think so.
No, exactly.
So we had to sell stuff, which we did, and now we're just working on a relaunch. So
yeah, which is exciting, because that's something we always try and do when we do sell out of a product. We like to kind of tweak it or revise it to make it as good as it can be, and that's just us being perfectionists, really. But that leads us on to our most recent bit of shit,
Oh yeah, that shit.
which is the coronavirus.
Yeah, we didn't see that one coming either, did we?
No. So, as we said, whenever we place a reorder, we try and tweak a product so it's as good as it can be, or, you know, we might change the lining or we might change the packaging, just because we're perfectionists and we're always after
The best.
the best. But recently with coronavirus, it's affected our new year massively, the same as most retail in general, I think.
Yeah, that's the thing, it kind of blindsided everyone. It's not just us, it's like a global issue really. So obviously this is just a terrible thing to have happened. But for businesses, it's kind of one of those things that, I mean, yeah, a lot of really big businesses probably have made contingency plans for things like this, but obviously we didn't.
Well, no, because we're a much smaller business, and I don't know, you just don't really see something like that coming, do you? Which is...
You don't, and then we don't have like a invisible business partner who's kind of like always looking at risk and stuff. You know, like, what do you do if this happens? We're like, we don't know. So this does happen, and then we're like, what do we do?
Yeah.
So, I mean, luckily for us, it's kind of been a few weeks since the initial outbreaks, and so far we've managed to scrape our way through.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're quite fortunate because we're a bigger brand now. We have got more of a range to sell. So, I mean, we are out of stock on some of our best-selling lines, like our 10-piece set, our 8-piece size set, like Malachite. There's loads of stuff that we are out of stock on, which is on a reorder with our suppliers. But because of the kind of lockdown in China, they've had to delay production by about a month. So we're automatically a month behind on all our schedules. So that's, you know, we're just trying to work our way through that risk at the moment, aren't we? And
well, what
that
we kind
of
talked about previously, where we've spent a lot of time planning out a whole year. The whole year has been reshuffled.
Yeah.
So you can spend all the time in the world bloody planning, and then some kind of global disaster happens, and you've just got to deal with it.
Well, that's the thing, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at least all our suppliers are now, they're all healthy, and they're really, really happy to be back at work.
I think they're all, like you said, they're happy to be back at work, and I think they were in a little bit of limbo, and you know, all our suppliers are so hardworking and they're amazing and they're so like proud of what they produce. They were desperate to get back, weren't they? And they were like, you know, they're just apologising for the situation, but obviously it's not their fault. And you know, we know it's not their fault, so we're just kind of being patient. And like we did with the fire, we're just communicating to all our partners that there is going to be a little bit of a delay, and you know, we can't really do much more than that. So I think if you do hit hard times, one of the key things is communication, and just making sure people are aware of the situation.
Yeah, you really, really can't sweep anything under the carpet. Like, there is no point in lying or denying. You might as well just face up to what has happened head on.
Yeah.
And just keep a level head, try not to panic, because I mean, everyone's so stressed these days that I think the worst thing you can do for yourself is actually just to go into a spiral of panic and worry and doubt. No matter how bad it seems, it probably will. I mean, it's going to come to an end, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, I mean, there is normally a silver lining in every situation. Everything that's happened so far, out of the kind of three main things that we've talked about, there's been like a positive spin. So that was the fact that, you know, we managed to be stronger as business women coming out the back of that fire. Nothing really phases us anymore, because at least our whole business isn't on fire. I mean, we're fine.
Yeah.
Getting sued, definitely not fun, but we kind of are a lot more sensible now in how we record everything that we do.
Yeah.
So we're fully
covered.
We're fully covered on everything, and also we're very aware that people are not very nice.
Yeah.
People will see your success and they will try and take you down.
Yeah.
That just is what other people do. We don't do that, but people do.
People do. You know that now.
And then, be prepared for the worst. Plan for the worst, hope for the best.
What is it? Fail to prepare, prepare to fail?
I don't know. It's one of those things.
I mean, we're still a bit rubbish at preparing as much as we should be, because we just get wrapped up in, I mean, there's so much day-to-day stuff that takes your attention and needs your time that you forget sometimes the bigger picture. So we're just always trying to be as prepared as possible, but something like Corona comes out of nowhere and then it knocks you for six anyway. So
we planned a whole year.
Yeah, push back.
And on that note, I'm going to get another cup of tea.
Lovely.
Do you want one?
Yeah, go on.
Let's go get a brew.
Yeah.
Take a break.
Yeah, I feel like I need a bit of a unwind after all that reflection on all the stress.
Yeah. Oh well, we're fine.
We're fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't feel down when you are going through hard times, because we all go through hard times, and it's better to talk about it.
Yeah. We just wanted to leave you on a little note of positivity.
Yeah.
Everyone goes through the same shit. Not quite the same, but the emotions are pretty much the same. So just a little note from us to say you will be fine.
Yeah, you'll get through it.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, and
Thanks
we
for
will
listening.
see you next time.
See you for episode 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.